Hello and welcome to day 25 of your 30-day yoga journey, Spring Awakening with me, Noelle. We've got a Swift practice today called Breathe into Flight. So it's going to be a pretty powerful practice today. We are going to warm up the body and prepare for our peak posture crow pose. So do not be afraid. Just show up as you are, ready to explore, staying curious, and maybe surprising yourself with a little bit of crow action today. And so without further ado, let us begin in a tabletop. Actually, let's begin in a comfortable seat to start. So we're going to do a little bit of wrist therapy. So you've got a couple options here. Let's just start by rolling the wrists a little bit, doing some circles. And then you can take one arm at a time, bringing your fingertips to point towards the earth, grabbing your hand with the opposite hand, drawing your shoulders in and down. If you're looking for a little bit more, you can bring your knees out wide, kind of like you're about to go into an extended child's pose. And you can bring your hands facing towards you, so your inner arm's going to be facing the front of your mat. And you can take it one hand at a time, putting a little bit of weight into the wrists, using your other hand for support. And then you can come onto the tops of your hands too, not putting too much pressure or too much weight, just warming up the wrists a little bit, switching sides. And then let's just shake out the wrists a little bit. A crow pose flow might seem a little daunting, so let's just shake off any negative or unwanted emotion. And then we will meet in a tabletop position. And let's take it with the toes curled under. Take a couple cat-cows on your own. Warming up the spine, connecting to the breath. And then find yourself in your regular tabletop, spine nice and long. And with the toes curled under, see if you can hover the knees off the ground. We'll stay here for 5, 4, 3. Make sure you're pressing away from your yoga mat. Your shoulders are away from your ears for 2, 1, and release. Come to sit on the heels with the toes curled under and take some wrist circles. Connect back to the breath in case you lost it. And we go do that again about 3 more times, but we're going to add on a little bit more time. So we'll do it for 5 more seconds again. So when you're ready, curl the toes under and hover the knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can uncurl the toes for this little break here. So do some rest circles, or maybe you just close your eyes and take a moment for reflection. And for our last round, we're actually going to hold it for 10 seconds. So when you're ready, curl the toes under in your tabletop and hover for 10, 9, engage that core, 8, 7, 6, spine is nice and long, 5, 4, remember to breathe, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Take a little shake in the wrists if you need. We're going to do, we'll aim for 3. We'll aim for 3 chaturanga push-ups. I'd recommend with the knees on the ground, but if you are feeling so strong, feel free to take them regular. So we're going to go for 3 together. So find your position, find your alignment, and we'll go for 1, 2, 3, and hold for 3, 2, 1, all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out in the hips and heels here. Waking up our down dog, waking up our bodies. Maybe you already lit a little bit of fire from those hovering tables and those chaturanga push-ups. And now come up to the tops of your toes and come into plank. We're going to hold our plank, staying connected to the breath. And we're going to rock a little bit forward and back. Forward and back. It's not a big move, it's pretty subtle. Forward and back. And then this time, take a slow tiptoe walk all the way to the top of your mat. We'll meet in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find space. Exhale, fold, and allow your hands to come underneath your feet. So you want your feet hip distance apart. And your toes are going to want to kind of step on the palms of your hands. This is a beautiful wrist stretch here. A generous bend in your knees. And allow the head to hang heavy. Release your hands and slowly roll up to Tadasana. Hands gently at your sides. And then when you're ready, hinge at the hips, bring a generous bend into the knees and reach your hands up and overhead, finding your chair pose. We hold, staying connected, staying present. See if you can go a little bit lower. And then release, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, create space. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back, and flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, from here, drop your left heel, reach your right heel towards the sky, square hips. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. 2 more just like that. Inhale, reach your right heel towards the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. You got this last one. Inhale, reach your right heel towards the sky. And bring it to your right elbow. Step it back to plank. And send your hips up and back into that downward facing dog where we'll take it to the other side. So drop that right heel, lift your left heel up towards the sky. You're doing great. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, back to your 3-leg dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Last one. Inhale, reach and straighten that left leg. And exhale, left knee to left elbow. Reach it back. Come to your plank and flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here in stillness. All right, now we're going to do that slow walk to the top once again. Meeting at the top of our mat, finding a forward fold for a moment here. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. As you find your Tadasana, reach your hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale as you float all the way down. Frame the feet, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. stay in your down dog, and you can do your down dog to plank here for about 3 to 5 breaths, or come down to dolphin and play with your dolphin a little bit by walking your feet as far in as you can. Maybe you lift one heel at a time. If you need to take a breath in child's pose, please do. Couple more breaths to play here, whether you're in your downward facing dog, plank, dolphin, but we'll all meet once again in a downward facing dog and repeat once again that slow walk on the tips of your toes all the way to the top of your yoga mat. And when you get to your forward fold, heel toe your heels to the outside edges of your mat and allow your hips to drop down and find your malasana. Hands can come to heart center or the ground. If you need to sit on a block, please do. Making sure your spine is nice and long and there's no fussiness in the knees. Okay. Take a couple more breaths here as we prepare to transition to play with our crows. So maybe you take a couple wrist circles again here. And locate your block if you have one. If you need two, grab two, but this is how we're going to play with it today. So bringing the block to, I guess, the middle of your mat, doesn't really matter. You're going to bring your toes together onto the block. So take a look at the screen if you need to, and you're going to come into this like squatting position here. So the block basically helps us get a little bit of the flight without having to reach our heels off the ground. And when we do come into our crow pose, just make sure you're not looking behind you. So that's a huge tendency that we like to do, is once we come into this kind of position, we'll look through our legs behind us. That's how people kind of get that somersault effect or roll over. So when we hug our knees into our forearms and bring our palms in line with the shoulders here and rise up, you want your gaze to be like 6 inches ahead of you. So it's kind of wonky, I suppose, but you're looking ahead of you by about 6 inches. So when you feel ready, come onto your tippy toes, hug your knees into your forearms, spine nice and long, and maybe you play lifting one foot at a time. Staying connected to your breath. Remember, breathe into flight. Take breaks when you need to. Do your do your wrist therapy when you need. And then maybe, just maybe, you catch some air today. So play with your crow. See what feels good, what works and what doesn't. If you're super strong in your crow, you can play with side crow. I don't think that's going to be my mojo today, but playing around and, like I said, staying connected to your breath. And yeah, maybe you add a block, or maybe you play with no blocks at all. Maybe you stay in your malasana, which is always welcome. All right, a couple more breaths to play here. And then we'll all meet back in a comfortable seat. Let's just shake out the wrists, shake off any unwanted feelings or emotion. Maybe we take a couple little twists side to side, releasing some of that energy in the spine, some of that tension that might have collected. Ooh, you can hear me, I'm breathing. Look at that. Got some fire going, but we're gonna keep it short and sweet today. Let me know what you thought of that practice. I know crow pose can be a little challenging or frustrating, but let me know what you think in the comments. And I hope you had a little bit of fun. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with others if you think they'd enjoy it. Thanks again, and I'll see you very soon.